Hi there, it's Camila Rose with the Bliss Institute, and I am back today with a summer solstice reading for 2019. And so I know it's a little early, but it's going to be good. It's good to get ahead of the game sometimes. So our first card that we have out, it is our general energy for the year. It is the Hanged Man for summer 2020. Hanged Man energy. Now this is one of my least favorite cards, honestly. I got it a lot in the last 2 years, and it was really talking about kind of being in that liminal in-between space, that space where it's just you figuring out kind of what are your next steps, what's your next move, where are you going, where are you heading. And it's one of those where it's a surrender card. You have to kind of surrender to being in the moment. This is not going to be a season of, say, depending on your sign and depending on what's going on with you, where in general things are just really going. They will be moving. It's not like it's going to be a stagnant season, but it's more so one of those where you have to figure out where you want to really put your energy. You have to be very intentional. This is going to be a season of intention. So you have to be very clear about where you want to put your energy, what you want to put with your time, where you want to go with like what you're looking for and things like that. Really spend some time fleshing out what it is that you're trying to work on and the plans that you have. So we're going to do just one card per sign because I don't have time to be doing all these 10, 20 cards for different signs. I love you all, but not like that. And so for Aries, we have the 10 of Pentacles. Okay, first off, I love this deck. Hoping I can see it. There we go. I love this deck. I think this deck is absolutely beautiful. And so we have quite a few people hanging out here. You see those pentacles in the background. Okay, Aries, you have been doing the work. You have been putting it in, and you are now reaping the benefits of what you have sown. All of that time, all of that energy, all of the pressure and the stress and the just like, oh my gosh, this is just a lot, and I know this is what I want to do and I'm really interested in it and I know I can get it done, but how do I go about this? How do I make this work? It's now all coming to a fruition. So this summer you're really going to be seeing a lot of things come through for you. Whether it's you've been putting out emails or you've been working on programs or you've been in school, all of these things are kind of coming to this culmination, and now you're really seeing that movement that Aries loves so much, that growth, that movement, that really getting things done. Then we have Taurus, and in Taurus we have the Prince of Swords. And so with this card, Taurus, this is saying it's time to speak up about some things. There's going to be a lot of messages coming in really quickly. There's going to be a lot of movement. So this is, like I said, it's not necessarily that it will be a stagnant season, but there will be movement in that you really need to be mindful of what you're doing and the choices you're making and where you're going. And with this card, Prince of Swords, Taurus, it's really looking like, hey, okay, you need to be mindful of your words. You need to let some people know that the things that they are doing are okay or not okay. You need to speak up. You need to advocate for yourself and for your ideas. Don't let other people take credit for the hard work that you've done. Because to get to this point of being a Prince of Swords, yes, it is a younger energy per se, and it is that there are messages and creativity, energy that's really flowing. But it's because you've gotten to this place where you've risen above being in that very like, okay, I'm unsure and I'm doubtful. No, this is a card of being aware and being sure of where you stand and what you think and what you want to get done. Now, does that mean that you've really thought everything out? Not so much. So that's where we get this Hangman card in. Take some time, think some things out, work through some plans. Hi, that's my cat. Maybe do some contemplation, maybe do some strategic planning to make sure that you're not just heading like straight into things without really thinking them through, because that is something that is associated with this card, that Prince of Swords. We have Gemini next, and with Gemini we have the 5 of Pentacles. All right, Gemini, if you're getting caught up in ideas and then like, okay, yes, I am this being who's able to manifest my reality. And yes, I am this person who's powerful and able to really get things done, but I just am going back and forth in this, do I deserve it? Do I not deserve it? Is this what's coming for me? Am I in the house with the lights on, or am I the beggar on the street wandering around? I think that the juxtaposition between the dualism of this card is something that's really important coming up for a Gemini card, because you are so much of these opposites. So more so being able to identify the parts of you that are in focus and in the flow with alignment and prosperity, and the parts of you that are not so much into that, and that you still have this like parts of yourselves that are like, maybe I'm not worthy, but removing yourself from seeing things as a good or bad, that dualism again, and seeing it as, I'm in this space at this time, and I'm in this space in this time, and I can occupy different spaces, because that is the magic of the Gemini, is that you can be so much, so that you know that yes, you can be someone who is very abundant, and you can also be someone who has some work to be done, and being okay with that, and understanding that it's less about fitting yourself into one small peg, and in finding the ways to meld all of those really magical qualities that you have together to be able to build something that's even stronger, even better, and that can appeal to all these different people who are in all these different spaces. For the Cancers, Princess of Pentacles. She's gorgeous. We love it. She looks great. Okay, so with the Princess of Pentacles, what we're seeing here is someone who they have done the work. Again, this is very similar to the Ten of Pentacles, but a little bit more. We're looking at receiving. So being able to understand that receiving energy, as Cancer season is coming in, it's the summertime, it's all about having that energy and really being able to build it up, and being able to then be able to funnel that out and to share it with others. Is a very abundant energy. It's very like there's an abundance of water. We are made up mostly of water. The planet is mostly of water. So you have all of this around you that's available to you, and now it's time to understand that you don't always have to be the giver in these situations, but to be able to sit back and receive, to know that you've done the work and that the harvest has come, and now you get to just kind of reap what you've sown and have this abundance rain down upon you. All right, so next we have Two of Swords for the Leo. All right, Leos, you've got some choices to make. You've got some decisions to make. There are some options available to you, which is fantastic. They will come up. You will take your time. You will be in that hangman energy, and you will decide from the many options that are available for you. Be creative, think outside the box, do not limit yourself, and know that you will make the best decision that is available to you. Trust your intuition, trust your emotions, and go with what feels right. And know that if you make a decision and you find that in the long run that's not maybe the decision you should have made, know that it doesn't mean that everything has fallen apart, but that it is just one choice that you've made this time, and that you can always make different choices in the future. All right, Virgos, let's talk, because you've got the Tower card. And as you can see, this card is literally the Tower card. It is falling apart. There's some big changes going on. I've got the cat here. Get down, lovey. You've got some big changes going on. You've got some things that are just not working out the way that you thought. It is really going to be a season of change, of growth, of letting go and releasing. Now again, going back to that Hangman card, you can choose how you decide you would like to view this energy for this season. Do you want it to be a season where you're just like, I give up and everything's falling apart? Or do you want to say, you know what? Okay, if things need to be released, if that job falls through, if that relationship is rocky and isn't working out, if the way that you are going about things is just not getting you what you want, you say, okay, this is not working. It's obviously a sign for me that I need to reassess and to find another path. This is a time for you to be able to grow and to not find out that you are out of control, that you cannot have any influence on the things that occur to you. But this is the time to really say, no, there is a path that I can take. There is a power that I can embrace and that I can exert. And from that comes the choices and the decisions that I make about the things that happen to me. So that's for you, Virgos. All right, Prince of Cups for the Libras. Libra, Libra, Libra. All right, as a Libra, I'm never excited when I get the cup cards, which, you know, I used to be very into the whole like, oh, I'm Libra, so I'm ruled by Venus, and we're all about love and beauty and like blah, 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 right? And now I'm like, justice, you know, we have to stand up. We have to be able to advocate for others and to be able to be people who can stand in the gap for others and to speak the truth and do all these things. So now when I see these cup cards, I'm kind of like, all right. But I believe that that's the part of the path of the Libra, of the balancing, because we do sway so much between so many different extremes. From one hand, we're just wanting to be very intellectual and be very just, okay, here are the facts. Here's the route. This is what we're doing. Let's go. Let's get it. You know, and we're really excited. We're really here for it. That's all we want to do. And then at the same time, it's just like, okay, no, this is not the best way to go about this. There are other choices. There are other ways to address things, and that your emotions are important. So now this might be literally someone coming in, young, quick, you know, wanting to be with you, a new partnership. This could also be you embracing kind of that energy of young love and infatuation with something else, with a new idea, with a new promising adventure, you know. So being open to that, that's what I would advise. Be open, but be discerning. Don't rush into anything. Don't be like, oh yeah, I met this dude at the beach and he was fine and now we're together and we're going to get married in 3 months. I don't know if the fall looks like that's going to come through. But what might happen is that you might have a really great time with this person and then assess at the end whether this is something that you want to continue with or not. And in all things, be able to assess and take that lesson of, there are beautiful moments that we can have that we don't necessarily have to hold on to, but we can take the lessons and go from there. All right, Scorpios. Scorpios are doing well. You've got a 7 of Pentacles. And so, again, we've seen a theme for these other signs of kind of doing the work and reaping what you've sown and all that. Well, now this is one of those where it's like, okay, you're thinking about how it is that you go about making the world and the material world work for you. You're thinking about, all right, this has been a prosperous, you know, last few seasons. Things have worked out well. I've come out on top. Yay, yay, yay. But also, I kind of want more. I kind of want to grow. I want to see my wealth and my material world begin to multiply. I want to see the way that I interact with the world begin to grow and become even more abundant. I've seen that when I do this, when I follow through, when I do the work, when I express myself clearly, when I don't get bogged down in being, you know, the reaper of the zodiac, and take those lessons so that we can grow and expand, I then manifest wonderful things for me in the future. How do I expand upon that? Think that through this summer. Think it through this summer. All right, so then we have Sagittarius. We have the 6 of Wands. So we're thinking like victory. Maybe there's been some, you know, difficult things going on. Maybe there's been some hardships and some conflict, whether that's at work or at school. In some way, shape, or form, there's been some conflicts, and you're seeing that you've come out on top. You did the good thing. You did not gossip. You didn't gossip. You didn't fan the flames, as you know a Sagittarius might. You didn't get caught up in the idea of what you would like for it to be, and in the, okay, well, let me just go and find out more and investigate and get all the details, and then they're maybe not necessarily like follow through with things. You know, you stuck with it. You stayed in your truth, and then you were able to really hold your ground and come out on top. So this is a season where you're going to be seeing that if you were experiencing conflict in different areas, that you're finding that, or conflict in that you felt like you were just stuck. You're seeing that you were not stuck, but you were in a place of holding so that you could move forward with the path clear for you. And this is what's happening right now. Now, with that being said, there's still a lot going on around you. There's still a lot of talking, a lot of squabbling, a lot of drama perhaps, and it's just for you to kind of like stay up here and kind of continue to ride that out, because whatever is your long-term goal in the end, you will get there by remaining steady and calm and not doing the Sagittarian thing of freaking out and just being like, it's fine, I'll just go get another job or another person or another home or whatever. Staying steady, being wise, working through it in a productive way. Then we have our faves, the Capricorns. Five of Swords. Well, I mean, we're talking about some conflict. Here we go. Five of Swords. But I've seen this more as like a... I think with Capricorns, when it comes to processing how they understand the world around them, they want to do so in a logical manner that will allow for them to kind of be able to find order and understanding. And when things around them don't really make sense because people are doing things that don't make sense, or because the options that are available for them are not the ones they think that they've set themselves up to have the ability to gain, it's just like, what do you mean? What is this? And for this, it seems like you have come out on top. That perhaps there was some conflict going on. And that you've been trying to figure out what you need to do with this. And you've made a plan and it's worked thus far. But that there have been casualties, there's been loss along the way. And that's what's kind of got you caught up in your thoughts, in those cyclical thoughts going on in your head about like, what could I have done differently? What can I change? Okay, I have all of these things, but maybe I've lost some things in the process that I didn't necessarily want to have to lose. And that's that Hangman energy coming up for you in the summer, where you're thinking about, okay, yes, when I come out as the victor, when I even have the spoils and more of the spoils laid at my feet, when I have all of these things available to me because I am such a prosperous person who's done the work, but then I lose something in the process. And is it possible for me to be able to win and not have these losses? But maybe it's also time to really sit down and rethink how you understand coming to these points and saying that perhaps these are not losses, but that these are just, it's the process, and that's how these things kind of work out. And perhaps there's things that can be done in the future. You can change your behavior always. It's never too late. But just kind of thinking through that a little bit. And then we have Aquarius with our Nine of Pentacles for Aquarius. It's a gorgeous card. So you're chilling. You are chilling. You are seeing all the things around you. And so this is not necessarily a card of receiving like it was earlier for the Cancers. This is more of a card of you have created such a system around you to, maybe it's multiple streams of income, maybe it's a family unit, a business, a job, co-workers, a team. You've created such a system around you that functions so well that you're able to just kind of like plug in to your part that you have to play, and the system just flows around you and everything is working very well. There are no kinks in your armor. There are no, bugs in the machine. Everything is just like, all right, no, here we are. We're all in our roles. We're all ready to go. So it's a very peaceful time for you to be able to kind of contemplate perhaps what your next steps are, or how to get from this space where you're like, all right, now I've got this larger part put together. How do I zone and hone in on really what your endpoint goal is? How do I reach that 10 of Pentacles and get the ultimate manifestation of the hard work and the goals that I would like to achieve? All right, so we've had something interesting happen with Pisces. So we're going to talk about the cards that came out with Pisces. And we have the Ace of Pentacles, because we got 3 cards. So we have the Ace of Pentacles. So new opportunities. We have the Sun card that came out. So time to shine, time to do your thing. This is going to be really great. Have courage, move forward. And then we got the World. So Pisces. I don't know if, and I have a Pisces rising, so I understand a little bit of Pisces energy. Sometimes Pisces can get very stuck. They're in the hangman energy, but they're not coming down. They're just up there contemplating. And they think that they are ready to emerge and return to the world. They've learned the lessons they've gathered from the tree, and they've got the wisdom, and now it's time for them to move on and to get down. And then they find that all they've done is just kind of lowered the rope a little bit, but they're still on the tree. You have an idea, you have a plan, you have a project, you have something that is in the works, and you need to step forward and have courage and know that you are enough and that you are able to achieve the things that you would like to achieve. And perhaps there will be some help to guide you along the way, to support you, to lend you a little bit of light in case you get a little down in the dumps, and everybody does eventually. And from that, you will be able to move beyond, because these cards work in tandem. The Hanged Man and the World card work in tandem. The Hanged Man, the World card is kind of like the outcome of the Hanged Man. So when you go through this process, I'll turn them back over, of contemplation, of seeking wisdom, of listening to the inner self, of connecting the spirit to the physical body, and then connecting to the world around you and being a part of that greater whole of we are one, what you find is that you now have access to all the things that exist in our fathomable world and in the world that we could not even imagine. It is just an expansion, an overall full-length expansion of your entire being. And this is what is available to you in this time over the summer. So just because the 3 cards came out, that's the reading I'm giving you. Take your plan, work your plan, support, help, be open, have courage, and then let the rest fall into place. You can do this. You've got this. All right, so happy summer solstice. You all have a great day. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.